Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This is 30, where today we are going to review Last Action Hero. One of the probably cheesiest 90s movies.
That's one way to describe it.
A movie that's going to piss off John because
Who's John?
it has to do with multiverse.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Y'all caught that one.
I was hoping we weren't going to get into that, but I'm so
No.
happy.
We have to get into this because, look, all of us here were children born in the 80s, lived in the 90s, everything. And I don't know about you guys, but I saw Last Action Hero numerous times on TV. Watching this movie, I enjoyed it as a kid. Watching it as an adult, I still enjoyed it, but saw way too many things and realized way too many things that should have never been in a PG-13 movie or PG movie, whatever it was.
No,
there was
PG-13.
Yeah, there was way too much. There was at one point they ran into a building that looked like the Playboy Mansion when they were doing a Playboy photo shoot. They had,
well, let's take a step back for a second. For those who haven't seen the movie yet, like, what is the general? I want you to just describe in like as simply as possible the general premise of it, because this is going to be a problem with the movie itself, depending on how you.
So this movie is all about this kid that gets this magic ticket that makes him go into movies. And he gets to go into his favorite movie, which is an action hero movie. And our action hero is played by none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you could see how the cheesiness will be in this movie. It is, okay, the best word to describe this movie is it is a caricature of 90s action films. Without a doubt, that's what it is. Because it's just taking 90s films, multiplying it by 100 and saying, here you go, enjoy. Everything there is so over the top. At one point, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger jumping out of a house on the second story, doing backflips to go down the hill from another house. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
At one point, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, but tackling Arnold Schwarzenegger, but not Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it's the actor,
multiverse.
But it's the character, and the movie was freaking mess. But we'll get to my unhinged section of the video later.
Listen,
I'll let the rest of you guys.
This movie was meta?
I'm just saying. Do you want an animated cat in a movie that has no earthly place being in it? You got it. You want an angry captain who wants to yell so many things, but he really can't because steam is physically coming out of his ears? You got it. You want a kid who's just picked up off the street and immediately put as a partner next to this quote unquote world famous detective? You got it. Oh,
I think I have to look it up. I don't remember who the director of this movie was, but I think he had a thing for BDSM because there was way too many people in this movie, especially in the precinct, that worked at the precinct that were dressed up as.
That was a mall, not a precinct, by the way.
No, that was the precinct. It looked like a mall.
Yes, it's that's what I'm saying. It looked like a freaking mall. Like, I don't understand what part of that was.
Acknowledge it in the movie. They really do, because they're like, I was just in a precinct. This looks nothing like a precinct. This looks so much nicer.
But why?
If only, kid.
But even in movie world, like, why did it have to look like nothing made sense for the sake of not making sense? It's
all right. Spade really did describe it perfectly earlier. This is every 90s action movie, every late 80s, mid 80s action movie rolled into one, crank that bitch up to 100 and just let it fly, which for its time, I saw it first and I'm like, oh man, this movie's so great. Awesome. Young Grimm just watched this. Like, yeah, everything's great. Everything's so awesome.
I want that magic ticket.
We all want that magic ticket. Yeah. Cut ahead to Elder Emo Grimm over here. Oh boy. I'm gonna be honest. I had to push myself to see this movie. I really did.
Really?
Yeah. Because this is also like without even realizing it, this is really the first movie to go meta. Like not even like multiverse kind of stuff or anything, but this is like the very first concept of meta.
Yes.
And
I was going to say this too.
Johnny, I'm sorry for stealing your thunder.
No, no. I'm happy.
I'm
happy.
That's why I said it.
No, I'm happy.
This movie was meta.
I'm happy you're bringing it up.
Wow. It really did, like, because it really did try like incorporate a lot of things. Like, oh no, I look at your phone number. How come her number starts with 555? Your number starts with 555. The blockbuster that we are just in. There's a blockbuster in this movie, bless you. Also starts with 555. There's only 9,999 numbers that you can have. That's it. That's what area codes are for. Gosh dang it, Arnold! Because I can't.
Wait, hold on. Since you brought up Blockbuster, those two women that worked at Blockbuster were way too beautiful to be working there, and it was mentioned in the movie.
That line, I was like, this scene would not fly in today's world, man. Nope. Would not get even as much as they're even poking fun of it, you still probably couldn't get away with that today.
Absolutely not.
So here's a fun fact about this movie. The director of this movie is John McTiernan or something to that extent. If I said his name wrong, I said it wrong. It is what it is. But
no, John McTiernan. Yep.
The good thing about this movie is that it is the same director who did he did Predator.
Yep.
And he also did
Die Hard. Yeah, I said that earlier.
And another fun fact is this movie, with the opening making fun of Lethal Weapon and was making fun of Shane Black. Shane Black ended up coming in to redo the script and the screenwrite.
Right.
So
that makes so much sense now. Oh my god, that's why I had to push myself to see this movie. Oh my god, Shane Black, you've done it again. You bastard, how do you have a job?
And the fact that they got the biggest action star on the planet, well, they probably paid him so much money to do it, but to make fun of himself, you're talking about the guy fresh off Terminator, Predator, Total Recall, feel free to add others. But the fact that, he's poking fun of himself and all the bad puns and the explosions that make no sense and how is he surviving every single fall. And he said, I'll be back. I lost count after 2 or 3 times. One great thing I love is like to prove that they were in the movie, going back to the blockbuster scene. He's like, oh, see, this is you in the Terminator. It's Sylvester Stallone who plays the Terminator in that universe.
Which was also like a dumb subplot. Like where that went nowhere. Like, whatever other movies he starred in, they're starred in by other actors that also exist in the real world as well. But the actor Sylvester Stallone exists as Sylvester Stallone in the movie world, but not in the real, you know what I mean?
See, this is
don't
why.
Tell me I'm too
Johnny 64 hates
too much into it. Don't tell me
why he hates the multiverse, because it's just.
It insults the viewer's intelligence. I'm telling you, it's so freaking dumb. Look, even I'm taking out anything having to do with multiverse shit. This movie was just a mess. It was a complete mess. The story made no sense. The characters were all disjointed. Some of them were completely useless. There was one plot hole after the next, even with shit that didn't have to do with jumping from movie world to real world.
It's a parody.
What was the plot holes?
I
don't remember any plot holes.
No, just. And how they got from point A to point B, nothing made sense.
I do have one plot hole. One. The very end of the movie. Whatever happened to Death?
Where did Death even come from?
Okay, so I'm assuming.
You're assuming.
Spoiler alert, because
you
it's a
can
30-year-old
assume
movie.
all you want.
Right.
We don't see it, so
we
Death
don't see it.
Is still out there.
But you know who played Death, right?
Goddamn right, I guess.
Sir
you
Ian
shall
McKellen.
not pass, Ian. Goddamn McKellen, and that is honestly the youngest I've ever seen him. So I'm like, my god!
I was like, wait, that's actually him. But wait, was he supposed to be a character in the movie? He was
from another movie.
Okay.
So in the beginning of the movie, right? In the beginning of the movie, you know how there was a scene where there was some guy who looked like Arnold swinging swords and fighting things? He's from that movie. He was plucked out of that movie.
Okay, whatever. It's like, but see, yeah.
The big thing towards the end, the bad guy is like, oh, like, and it actually sounded like a really cool plan. I'm gonna take every like big antagonist from every movie and unleash them onto the real world. And I just sat there like, that actually does sound really cool. It sounds great. And we did nothing with it. We got Ian McKellen his death. He said a cool line and he fucked right off, which I thought was also cool. But listen, this.
All right, going back to the meta thing, it's just the movie was not ready for itself, right? I think the concept was actually kind of novel on its face, but the writers were just they just probably never like heard of or seen or like even would have thought of anything like this before, and had no idea how to handle it when it came to writing it. Everything that was meta about it, it just made no sense. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like it's not actually Arnold Schwarzenegger, and if you kill the actor, the character, or you kill the actor, it's going to kill the character. There was just like so much going on with this movie, and like there was no transition between one part of the movie to the next. They were just in one scene and then another scene, and then something's exploding, and then hey, there's his daughter, and then she kind of like fucks
jump
up
cut here, jump cut there.
And we had an animated cat named Whiskers, voiced by
an animated cat. The only animated character in the entire movie, because clearly that was all that.
Wait, hold on. Since you brought up the
second.
animated cat, and Pancake said who did the voice for the animated cat, let's just think back as to who showed up in this movie. Like in the beginning, right?
That's another thing that we need to get into in its own discussion. But go on.
In the beginning of the movie, when they're at the mall precinct or whatever you want to call it, the sergeant at the desk is like, okay, so I don't know, pick a cop named Murphy. You're going to be going with the rabbi. What? Why are you
German with the rabbi? Cop? You have the fastidious one with the one who's a mess, and you have the animated cat with a human. Which honestly, I thought in and of itself was kind of great. But here's the thing, though.
This movie was bonkers.
Going back to what Johnny said, that this movie was just all over the place and was like too ahead of its time. I will agree with that in a bad way, because there is a movie that we are going to do a This Is 34 in the future that it was way ahead of its time, but in a good way. This was the bad way. This one tripped, fell ass over tea kettle so that the future one can fly. I guarantee you that. And you guys are, the second that I say like which one, we're going to be like, oh, you remember what I said with Last Action Hero? This is that time. And you're all going to say, oh my God, Grim was actually right. But
so subscribe and stay tuned.
Yeah.
Value viewer.
Getting back to what Spade was getting into, though, for the very end of the movie, how many cameos did we have throughout this entire movie?
Chevy Chase, Jim Belushi, Van Damme,
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
MC Hammer.
Apparently, Sharon Stone was she in the movie?
Sharon Stone was in right when they went into the not precinct. They went in with the antagonist from Terminator 2. His mind.
Oh yeah, Robert Patrick.
Patrick.
Who just
what do they have to do with this?
And Sharon Stone as her character from Basic
Instinct. Yeah. It's so useless. It's so useless. It was like another, like I felt like I was watching The Flash again with all these useless cameos.
No, this was such a better movie than The Flash. Without a doubt, it was a better movie. This
you're really gonna make
an Academy Award-winning movie.
Please do not make me defend The Flash. Please do not make me defend The Flash. But this was not a better movie than The Flash. I am sorry, but no.
This was the greatest parody movie of all time. I'm just kidding. That's Spaceballs. That's Spaceballs or Scary Movie, but that's another. But it was a funny parody movie. Overall, that like I went into it with a mindset that this is going to be a comedy. It wasn't garbage like the Mario movie that we review or the Ninja Turtles 3, which was garbage too. watch those video in our archives. But
Shameless plug. Anyway, go
shameless plug.
It's
And
not
to finish on
shameless if
Sharon,
you're plugging yourself.
I'm plugging us. And to finish on Sharon Stone, she was our character from Basic Instinct. So, as Robert Patrick was his T-1000 character. So, that was the significance of those cameos. And Tina Turner, real quick in the beginning, was the mayor.
Yeah.
Literally
Right.
no reason in this movie. That is the one thing I will say. She had no reason to be in this movie.
No,
None of them did.
That's
Why-
this is probably why the movie cost $85 million to make.
Oh, that's another thing too. This movie tanked at the box office.
Yeah,
too.
it only made, I think,
I
100
wonder
million.
why. I wonder
It
why.
made hold on, I got the number right here. It made 137. I mean, it didn't tank in the sense where it lost money. It's just it wasn't a real moneymaker as it should have been,
I was about to
considering
say, yeah.
who was in the movie and everything.
That's the thing, though. Like, you get to a point where it's like you're spending a lot of money just for like the explosions, for the stunts and everything. Now let's add on to every single one of these cameos too. It doesn't fit at the end of the day, but I don't know. Like I was for all my rantings and ravings with this. Yes, it did not stand the test of time. The whole reason why we're doing this entire subject, I feel like it did not whatsoever. I was slightly entertained by some of the bits in this, but like I said, I physically had to force myself to watch this movie. I was taking way too many bathroom breaks, and I'm just like, I going through Instagram, and I'm like, no, I have to watch this. I have to for the channel, for Spade.
And like I feel like
God, what
movies,
I do for this freaking channel, I swear to God.
And I feel like movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that came out after this were almost like apology movies for that. Like you watch True Lies and then you watch this movie, and this movie just seems like, I don't even know, like a parody of that before it even existed, but like bad. And then you could watch like Jingle All the Way for like the father-son buddy type of
Dynamic,
thing. Like yeah, it was just like that. Like that's like a much better version.
You know,
of this
since
too.
you brought up father dynamic, right?
No, don't.
In this movie, he would be the worst father ever. He tells
He was.
Well, yeah,
He was.
but he tells this kid is what, 10, 12 years old? How old
10
is this
years
kid,
old.
right? Okay, so he tells the kid, if you need anything, there's plenty of guns in the glove box in the car. What? Who tells a 12-year-old, yeah, if you need anything, go to the glove box.
In defense, that's by design, right? He doesn't realize he's in movie universe, but that's how movie universe people think. Like there was a scene where the kid was like, "Oh, like in a normal circumstance, you would have just called child services instead of making me come with you." You know, like he calls it out. So like that's like that I could tell. Like that actually is like a semi clever way of like, I guess, like dividing the people in that universe versus the real world, but like it's still dumb. Yeah, like there should be like a message in the beginning that says like, you know, viewer discretion is advised. Do not allow kids to do this, even though we're telling them it's okay. You know?
I think the funniest line that I can remember in this movie was from the kid, and he goes, "I'm in a movie and I'm missing the most important part of the movie," like, because that's when the first real chase scene happened while he was in the movie universe, I guess.
When he was in the backseat of the car and he was ducking down.
No. This is when he gets out of Jack Slater's house when they're doing a chase scene in the dark neighborhood. He's like, this is the best. Fuck, how did he say it? I'm in the movie and I'm missing.
I think I know what you're alluding to. Are you alluding to the bicycle scene?
Yes, and he's just like on a bicycle.
It's okay. Yeah, we're gonna play chicken. Yeah, this is gonna be great because I'm a good guy and everything's gonna be great. Everything's good. Wait, no, everything's not going to be great. I'm a comedy sidekick. I'm gonna die.
And one thing I love with the kid is that he was telling. They were playing off of like, we wish we could yell at the screen, like, watch out for this, so and so did that,
right?
But to bring it to modern terms, he was and to poke fun of myself, he was spoiling the movie for the other cast members as the movie was going on. So that part was pretty hilarious. But I love the fact they were playing off like, how many times were you like, oh, It's like, oh, how did you know that? Did you tell him? No, did you tell him? It was so hilarious to me.
All great parts, guys. All good parts. However, you're all wrong. Because the best scene in this entire thing was Schwarzenegger as Macbeth.
Yeah.
No, Hamlet. I think it was Hamlet.
I'm sorry. Yes, it was Hamlet. Excuse me.
Whatever.
To be or not to be. Not to be. Explosions everywhere.
Takes out an assault rifle, just starts blowing shit up.
I have a feeling like the director just had that specific scene in mind before creating the entire rest of the movie. And he's like, I need to make a movie around this, and it has to match this level of ridiculousness. I could bet money on that, honestly, with how crazy this movie was.
So
you know, it was like, it was just like so confusing. Like when I was watching it, like in the beginning, I was like, okay, so he's in the movie world. Are we going to see like set pieces and lights and directors? No. All right. So it's like,
nope.
They're in a functioning world, but it's a movie world. Like it was just so damn confusing.
Yeah, but that's what it was. It was a functioning movie world. Yeah. But to change it up a bit, I'm going to tell you the one thing that I despised, I hated about this movie.
Just one.
Okay. So, listen, I despise this because it just irks me a lot. That's how much it hurts.
Go on.
He falls into that tar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets out and he's got this one napkin and he goes, oh, look, I got a clean face.
Yeah.
It just annoys me. Like, you know damn well that you would have taken 6 rolls to wipe all that tar off your face. And he looks so clean. He's like all over here. It's all clean. He's got tar in his hair, tar on the side, tar under his chin. But around his face right here, it was all perfectly clean from that one wipe.
So you're telling me that the multiversal portal that takes you from a movie world to the real world is totally fine?
No, that's okay. It's believable.
Napkin. That's okay. But the napkin's not. Okay.
The napkin is not believable at all.
We have entered a new realm of ridiculousness.
Or in the real world, he feels the pain for world, but when he goes back into his movie world, it's just a scratch.
It's just a flesh wound. That's it.
Yeah, I know. The doctor.
You're missing your intestines? Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Shot point blank in the chest. It's a flesh wound. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I actually thought that was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was funny.
Thank God, stupid. The one bit of body armor you were wearing took that whole bullet. Everything's fine.
Yeah. God, the movie's dumb. The movie was bad, guys.
Anything else, anything else you guys want to bring up while we're
for finally seeing the movie? For finally seeing the movie the first time in its entirety, I left it for what it was, a parody. And yes, I know. For a parody, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I liked it overall. I didn't take it too serious and laughed my ass off the whole time.
It was better than our last This Is 30 movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I'll give it that, but not by much.
There's no doubt about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, no, this did not stand to the test of time. I was entertained in some bits, but overall, no.
I think as a 90s movie, it's fine.
No, it's not.
If you're going to compare it with today, obviously not. But the action and everything that happened in that movie is comparable to most 90s films. So, look, I think if you want to just laugh at stupidity, watch it. You'll enjoy it. Yeah. Now, if you take it seriously like Johnny 64 and complain about the multiverse, don't watch it.
It's not. I did not really get into the multiverse part of it. I was just saying, just from a writing standpoint, it was a mess. It was a mess. Go watch True Lies. Go watch True Lies. It'll be much more worth your time as a 90s movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, without a doubt. I put True Lies in my top 5 of best action movies. So, yeah. So, anybody got anything else to say?
This movie sucked.
Covered it.
Roll credits. This movie sucked. Roll credits.
Well, on that note, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that jazz, and we'll see you on the next one. Other than that, roll credits. We out.
Roll credits.